Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kriti and I am back with another very important interview on my channel to help you if you are job hunting here in Denmark. And today I have Nisha with me, who is a career coach, and she also has 12 years of experience as a hiring manager. Nisha, thank you so much for your time and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Thank you so much, Kriti. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here and happy to meet you and all of your followers.
Yes, so Nisha, to begin with, tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you're working here as a career coach, and how is it going here in Denmark?
Yes, well, I am a Dane, despite my very international name. And I am a career coach now, and I call it Wing Woman, Professional Dream Job Hunter. And I help international people find and get that dream job here in Denmark or to grow their career. And I'm also the founder of a network of more than 4,000 international women here in Denmark from 97 different countries. So we have this online and offline network where we meet to support each other's career. So that's what I do for a living here in Denmark.
Yes, and I have attended one of the meetings this last month, and I absolutely love the environment, and I also got to meet you, Nisha. So it was such a nice experience.
You're very welcome. And it is what it's all about. It's about giving this warm welcome that we may not always receive from the workplaces or the Danish network there. So here we are just all together, and it's a mix of different ages, industries, levels of education. That way, I really think we have a power together to help each other.
Nisha, to begin with all the questions, the first thing that I have prepared is like a quick rapid fire round. I have five questions, and the answer should be only yes or no. Let's see how it goes.
Let me try. Let me try it.
Yeah, like can we answer yes or no when it comes to job search questions? We should just try to begin with.
Let's try it. I'm ready.
Yeah, so rapid fire round starts now. The first question: is LinkedIn important in job search here in Denmark?
Yes, that's a yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like this.
Yes or no?
Bring it. Next
Yes.
one.
Should people have their pictures in the resume?
Yeah, in the CV. Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
Should one prepare separate cover letters for each job they're applying for?
That's a yes and no, but I
Okay.
will elaborate later. Yeah.
Okay. So it depends. All right.
hmm
Next question: is networking crucial when finding a job in Denmark?
I wouldn't say it's crucial, but it really helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Yes. Next, and the last question would be: should one contact the hiring manager with questions regarding the position before sending the application?
That's a big yes for me too. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that was the rapid fire round. So Nisha, I want to ask like the first question that I have, because currently on my YouTube I'm focused on helping spouses who are moving to Denmark and their partner have got the job, but they would also want to start, job hunt here in Denmark. So if you are new in Denmark, what are the key essential things to get right if you're starting with the job search in Denmark?
Yeah. But if you're starting with your job search in Denmark, I would say the first thing to look at is the CV, because that is what I look at as the hiring manager and all the headhunters. They will look at your CV and determine, do you fit this role? And if you do, they will go on and look in your LinkedIn and read your cover letter. But all of that doesn't matter if the CV doesn't catch their attention. So my tip would be Danish up your CV, as I say to my clients, and it's about getting it right, getting to understand what is it we want to know in the culture. As we said, we want a picture, we want something visual, And I heard before people said that don't put a picture on if you're not attractive or if you have a certain color or something. And I would, from my heart, say as a hiring manager, that doesn't matter. It's just important to look friendly, and
Hmm.
it works as a visual effect. Like when I see all the text, your skills, your name, and I then also see your picture, then I connect it more in my brain. So it's more as a visual point um, of remembering you. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's important. The CV, Danish up your CV. There are some mistakes I keep seeing again and again. And you can actually get it on my webpage. I have when you sign up. There is three mistakes, and one of them is I see from new people coming to Denmark that they are way too professional in their CVs, and people might be now wonder why are you saying that, because CV are all about showing professionalism,
Yeah.
but not really, because we need to see the whole person in Denmark. Like we hire the full personality, the professional aspect and the personal. And people that comes from certain industries or certain countries, maybe where their English is also very developed, like India, then they can tend to sound over professionalism, also have some kind of internal language, industry language. And we
Yeah.
don't know in Denmark who gets the application firsthand. It can be an HR assistant or somebody else, a headhunter that maybe are not that specialized in exactly your role. So you need to speak a human English without
Mm.
being too over professional. And another mistake I also see is then when we go in the other way and it's too creative, it's too many colors, it's too um, fun in it. You know, it's sometimes we can also go the other way and have too much of it all. So so it's also a thing to be aware of. But the third mistake, and that's actually something I see both in international CVs and in Danish CVs. So it's a very important standard mistake that I hope that you viewers won't do after this. But that is to be, I call it stupid honest. It's a little provocative, but it is to serve them too much, serve them something that doesn't serve you. And that
Yeah.
could be, for example, I see in some CVs that people have their skills and then they rate them. And the thing
Yeah.
is, I, as a hiring manager, I don't need to know that you are really good at Excel, but not as good as Microsoft Word, but even better at Trello or whatever. You don't need to rate them for me. If you just write them there as your skills, I think that you are an expert in all of them, because otherwise, why would you write them in? Not maybe an expert, but I think this is what you know about. That's all I need to know. So that's one of my points of being too stupid honest. Where it doesn't serve you, all I need to know as a hiring manager is this is skills you got that you can perform. And another thing is writing too much about family and kids and you know one-legged dogs or whatever you have. Your CV is about you and your skills and your personal interest. So to keep it to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like this one, as you mentioned, stupid honest.
Stupid honesty.
Yes.
Don't be stupid honest.
Yeah, because I have seen it, like people are rating themselves. This is like out of 10, I know 7 in Microsoft or something like that. So I think the trust here comes in handy in Denmark. If you have mentioned that you know these skills,
Mm,
the hiring manager trusts that, okay, you know it. You don't need to go ahead and, like put, okay, I
no.
know this much or that much.
And I also even seen in the about you text, in the profile text in the start of the CV, people start right away explaining their gaps or saying, "Well, I just came to the country," or "I don't speak Danish yet." Don't feed them all that stupid honest information yet, because now it's time to sell yourself. And all the extra thing, we all come with baggage, all of us, all
Yeah.
candidates. It's their job to ask about that in an interview. So don't feel you waste your time if you're not serving them your whole life story and the whole truth about yourself, or why you have gaps in your CV, or why you don't have these and these skills or experience. Just sell yourself on it. Believe that you can do it either way, and then take all the extra baggage question after. The company will have baggage too. When you
Yeah.
get into the interview, you will hear, well, how many left the team lately? How are your, what is the possibility? And of course, then it would be more real, and you will
Yeah.
think, yeah,
So as you mentioned, like the CV is the first thing that you have to get it right. And once the hiring manager likes your CV that fits like them, they go ahead with even checking your LinkedIn, they go ahead with checking your cover letter and everything.
yeah. A lot of people will not do it if they don't put the CV in the yes pile. They won't spend time on checking extra. A lot of hiring managers and headhunters, I know, and I wouldn't either. And it can also be because you just not fit the role. So it's not always because there's something wrong with your CV. I need to tell you that, of course. But that was just one of the key essential, because we're in Denmark, and Denmark is one of the countries where the most of the population is on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We're there all the time, and in the recruitment processes, it's the number one tool used here. So you see everybody who's looking to fill a new position, and I'm talking hiring manager, colleagues, um, headhunters, recruiting agency, everybody in Denmark goes to LinkedIn to find the talents there. So you need to have a profile, and you need to have it updated and upgraded maybe. And I'm not talking premium, it's up to
Yeah.
you. But I'm talking about have your keywords in it, know how to be found, know how to showcase your skills a little bit, and get those recommendations that we can give each other on LinkedIn. So that's really, really important. So
Yeah.
the LinkedIn is not just used in Denmark to get the job or show yourself as a job hunting process. It's also used as a talent pool where we find our talents and we ask, "Are you? Do you want to change job? Are you in a position right now?" And find our talents there online.
Yeah,
So
because they can find your profile, and even though maybe you are not looking for a job, you can be asked.
yes, all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. And it's about being found, because they use this search tool to find talents. And if your profile is not set up to be found, then you need to get it done. That's what I really help a lot of people with, because it works both ways, just as an extra thing in the sales process of you and job hunting, but also to attract a lot of other offers that you didn't go find yourself.
Okay. So LinkedIn is so much important.
Yeah. And of course, networking. And
Yeah.
LinkedIn is a part of networking. Because when I said networking, all the introverts, people who's looking for a job right now, is saying, no, no, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Keep saying it. But you don't have to be extrovert to network. You don't even have to meet up. You can just online network all you want. There are different ways to do it. And it's okay to write to a person on LinkedIn and say, "Hey, you inspire me. Can I ask you a few questions? Do you have 10 minutes for a Zoom coffee where I can ask you something, or get your advice, or pick your brain, or praise people for who they are? Follow them, interact.
Yeah.
Remember that LinkedIn is a social media, and we want to be social on social media. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, that is such a good point that you have to be social on like social media such as LinkedIn, when job search comes. So you should not even be like, sometimes I feel like maybe the newcomers are afraid, but you should not be afraid, once you are here in Denmark and looking for jobs.
No, people are really into networking here. They're actually more into networking than making friends. So people are always up for networking professionally. They're not always up for going to the movie with you. And that way, Danes are a little bit
Yeah.
weird. I can say it because I am one, but that's how it is.
Yeah, they say it is difficult to become friends with Danes, but I think it is easier to network with them.
so easier
Oh,
because they're all about professional networking. So yeah, Career Club DK, my network is a possibility of find network where you can go out and meet people, and you will see a whole new uh, view of the Danes of how they network, because it's about that job and career, and we're very active about that. So that's a good idea to do. And if you don't like networking physically, do online networking or do both, combine them. It's very giving. And of course, if I understand, as a spouse to someone, you are part of his or her network, of course, but you want your own. Like, you want
yeah.
to come home to the dinner table and tell your stories about people that they don't know, that you need to introduce for the family. You want your own identity and network here, and I understand that. So just go out and do it. You will be pleasantly surprised. um, of course, another thing to get started really fast and sometimes jump the line of other candidates is to get professional help. And that
Yeah.
you can work with a career coach like me, or you can invest in an online course, or anything from people who knows about it. That's what we do if we want something in a house fixed, or something else is wrong. Then we invest to get it done better and faster. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people needs to take this one as a positive way, because you are investing in yourself. And otherwise it takes, I think I've heard like people take a year to find job. Why should you waste, and like even in the process get little stressed and give up? So it's always good to go out and seek help.
Yeah, it's a possibility, at least if somebody has it, to do so. But I think also, trying to enjoy the process a little bit. And I know it's so hard to do because you're job hunting, you're uncertain about the future, you don't have the financial stability. And this is the time that we ask you to go sell yourself, go brand
Yeah.
yourself, show your best confidence. And it's a time of our life where we're not in a confident space. So it's more also about getting that support, and getting the what can you say, the accountability,
Yeah.
together with the right way to go, so you don't make stupid mistake that will drain your energy, as I said. But it's really also about getting a wing woman and somebody who can open their network for the possibilities too. Yeah.
And Nisha, talking about, as you mentioned, like CV is the first important thing. I really want to, have your expertise here and tell us how we can Danish up our CVs in Denmark. How to do that.
Yes. Well, picture, as we said first, is important. And then we know from studies that 83% of hiring managers in Denmark, they actually will read from start to the end the about you text. Of
Hmm.
course, it needs to be not too long, and it needs to be catchy, because that's what it's all about. The about you text is kind of the starters of the whole dinner, right? It's what
Yeah.
catch my eyes and make me curious about it. It's the hook. So that's important too, to have the about your text. And then I would say there's no rules, but in my preparation, a CV should be 2 pages. One
Hmm.
is too short if you had more than 2 jobs, and also some education maybe to put in. And three can tend to be too long. It's actually really nice to have it printed in both pages, and I can just put it in my bag and go home and really read them through. I did that when I hired. So I think that's important to have, and a way to stand out, and a very Danish way to show that it's not only the professional you they also get the personal you, is to have a section where it says interest. And I say interest and not hobbies, because interest covers both. Interest can be for professional
Hmm.
benefits as well as personal. So here you can write if you self education, if you're proactively taking courses or getting better in your field somehow. But it's also here you can write if you do any sport, or if you have um, a really good tip actually is to find something that will surprise them. That will be
Yeah.
a kind of a fun gimmick. For example, I just coached this amazingly feminine, cool career woman, and she plays rugby, which is a really hardcore man sport. So
Yeah.
that's something that will make the hiring managers remember her. That's the rugby girl. That's the fun thing. And I also had a wonderful client who got a really good job, and and she is designing board games, and she wrote that, and she came to that interview once where the two hiring managers, all they talked about was this board game designing. How do one do what kind? Because they were game nerds too. So sometimes we just not even get it as a remembrance of who we are. It's the whole interest, it's the whole thing that makes them want to meet us. So if you
Yeah.
have something, don't go over the top, right? But if you have something that's a bit fun, or if you have something that you could make fun, yeah,
Hmm.
that that's a way to put it. For example, I played lacrosse and in the Danish national team, but the reason we were the national team was because there's only one team in Denmark. So
Yeah.
I wrote that because it's a fun little story, and it's a way to kind of take it down to a level. So don't worry, I'm not gonna travel with them. We only we only met to train once a week. But it was something to be remembered by. So think about that in the interest as well and stand out.
Okay. So not like not have the hobby section, but have interest section and put the things that you are into, like that interests you and that you do in
Yeah,
the
you
interest.
could mix it both professional, like upgrading my skills, taking courses that you do
Ah,
as an interest, and private things like sport, walks, nature, whatever.
yeah.
And remember, in the interest, we can also say things between the line. For example, if you let them know that you have a healthy lifestyle, or you do sport, or you live healthy, between the line, it tells me as a hiring manager that maybe there won't be that many sick days. So it's a way to communicate as well and show them, tell them something.
And you mentioned about the summary, that the about me, which is like the top thing that you write in your resume. Uh, could you help us understand what should be the tone? Like, should you write what can you bring to the table, or should you talk about your past experiences in that, I don't know, 4 to 5 lines?
Yeah, good question. I say 5 to 8. You can put it normally, and yeah, you shouldn't put in what you are gonna tell them in a moment, because that's just a repetition.
Yeah.
So I use it as the hook. It is, tell them who you are in a way. For example, mine start with my professional footprints reveals a joy of working with people, goals, and blah blah blah. And then I tell a little bit about how I do my work and how it benefit a company. For example, I say I have a positive energy that is transferable, and I use that to create not only a good culture in the company but also in the bottom line. So it's like a way of letting them know what do they get with a talent like me. So
Hmm.
use more focus on that instead of the other thing around, which is also a mistake I see a lot, where people use the space on explaining why this company is so important for them. Keep it neutral, your CV. That's what the cover letter is for. But here you should tell what your talents can bring a company and how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And in
that's good to know.
Denmark, again, we're very much about personality. So it's not forbidden to use one or two homemade words, like creative words that make them understand what you mean, or paint a picture of what you like, right?
Hmm. Yeah, so like as you mentioned in the beginning, like, not too professional, not too creative, but find a balance when you are telling about yourself.
I had a wonderful girl who said, "Well, I'm a proactive project manager and numbers nerd," and then she kind of played with PPNN in it, and it looked good in writing, but it was also like a way of making her own words that either way makes so much sense when reading it, and
Yeah.
explain who she is as well.
Okay, so few tips on Danish up your CV. Thank you so much, Nisha, for this. So Nisha, now let's think that okay, people have done all those things and they have got the interview. So now they are going to go for the interview. As a hiring manager, when you were doing it, and now also, could you help us with some of like maybe three interview questions that are definitely gonna be on the table, and how to answer them the
Smart.
Danish way? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um, well, the most important, I think, first question that they mostly will ask is, so tell us a bit about yourself, right? So they
yeah,
actually make us start the whole interview, and that can feel a bit nerve-wracking because we on their home field, we're nervous. Maybe they're two-person, maybe they're three, maybe it's just one, but it's still their home field, right? And we come in there and really want the job, but it's actually a good thing because they are kind of letting you set the whole tone for the interview. Like
mhm,
with the energy you put into that question or the how you started, this will make set the whole tone for the interview after. So I think it's where you can make a little joke or a little fun thing, or you can start with the good thing about it is that you know you're going to get this question, so you can
yeah,
already now start to practicing the question and fine tune it so it's perfect. um, and it should be answering um, why you are there, what you're looking forward, what you are good at, and then you should kind of loosen the tension in the end. Say something that's like, um, I'm learning to. I came here on bike and I'm starting to get used to the Danish bike lanes, even though it's dangerous. Or say I look forward to get my first Danish job here because I hear you eat a lot of cake in the offices and I'm all about cake. Or something that could just bring a smile and setting the mood. I'm not telling you to come and be a comedian, but
yeah.
you could do something or just show gratitude. That would make them smile too. So I'm very happy to be here, and I almost couldn't sleep last night, or something. It's enough. Just show a little bit of good energy and personality if you can. If you feel it's you, of course, you should always be you. So that's some of the interviews. They will also ask you at some point, tell us about a time, dot, dot, dot. And that could be where you had a big success or where something went really good. What did you do? And there's also the contra question where something didn't go, where you failed. What did you learn from it? And here they actually they want some storytelling, and you know that already, so you should have some stories ready about something you did. And remember, don't be stupid honest, only serve what serves you, right? So
Hmm.
have some kind of learning behind it, of course, and don't make it a big failure. You choose. They didn't ask for the biggest one, and even if they did, if you did something really bad, you just don't remember it right there, right?
Yeah,
Only remember we're still in the sales process here. So yeah, but I want you actually to take that advice about storytelling to an even greater level, because you're going to tell one or two stories about something you did very well and how it went well, and something where you failed and what you learned. But I want you to bring 3 5 more stories with you in the back of your head to the interview, and sneak them in to the conversation. So when they ask you, tell us about your strengths, then
yeah,
you can say, well, for example, I want to tell you a story about one time I did, and that shows how I am. So if you push in some good storytelling, that is a way people remember you better, and they kind of see the movies in their head while you talk. And it's also a way to showcase your skill instead of just answering, yes, I'm very good at that, yes, I can do that, no, well,
yeah.
yeah. So that's a way of putting in some personality and sell yourself better during the interview, that I think is very.
Like if they're asking, tell us your strength, you should not just say like, I can work independently. Tell a story where you worked independently and you got the result.
you can start with saying, well, I've worked very independently. For example, I can give you an example of that. There was a time, and then bring it in. And remember, it's your, that's the biggest interview thing to remember. It's your ears. So you are in charge of what you hear. If you hear the man ask a question in a way and you want to hear it differently, you answer that differently. Then it's their point to get you back. So, for example, if they ask, where are you in 5 years? Maybe what they really want to know is, are you going to get 50 kids, or are you going to travel? Are you leaving Denmark? Is this your forever home, or whatever they want to know, really? But they cannot ask, luckily. But
Yeah.
it's still your ears. So if you hear it, maybe you know that this is what they want to know, but they ask, where are you in 5 years? So you can totally hear it in another way and say, well, I'm counting on getting old with you guys in this company. So you tell me, where are we in 5 years? What are we going to do? So remember, you have the power because they ask a question and you hear and you answer. So it's all
Yeah.
about what you hear and how you want to hear it, and make sure it's beneficial for you. Yeah.
So as an applicant, I think we sometimes feel that we don't have the power, but as talking to you, I'm understanding that you have the power. You are driving the interview in a way because, as you said, tell us a bit about yourself. You get to set the tone of the interview to begin with.
Yes, and you get to actually control all, even if you didn't smash it in the first line, you can still win it because you decide what you hear in a way and you translate it into your head in an answer in a way that sells you best.
Yeah.
So it's really about also training a little bit. Start already now, write those success stories down that you want to sneak in the first time you get the chance, because you can use those in your job hunting process when networking as well.
Yeah.
And start already now to get an answer ready on the tell us a bit about you uh, text. That's the elevator pitch. We can use that again and again as well.
Yeah,
No,
because if you're coming to Denmark, you're new, you're starting with job search, you can also start to have those stories ready, because it's about you that has happened to you. So you should start to practice. Like,
totally.
okay.
It's a good idea to do. Also in Denmark, we have a lot of jobs are giving personality test after the second interview. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of them. I'm certified in the one called DISC personality that I see most companies use, but they can also use other variations of it. But I don't think, I think we kind of putting people in boxes, and
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it, but I know that's how the companies work. So that's also what I help my clients prepare. But you can already find some of those free tests online, and try so you at least you are aware of how your result may be, and you can prepare this talk. It would not mostly, as I said, be on the second or third interview because they pay something and it's a bit deeper. But why
Yeah.
not? Yeah, why not use all the time preparing on it? Yeah,
So almost all companies have these personality tests. Like if you go further.
depends on the industry, but I see a lot of office jobs use it, administrative jobs, sales jobs, service job, marketing. Um, so
Yeah,
we
my
use it
husband
as well.
my husband recently switched the job and he was doing the personality test. Now I remember it. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think what I work with my client is preparing it for them. So they take one, we go through with it, but you can do that again yourself. So all the small things you can do now to prepare, get started on it, because certainly your CV will land and your cover letter will be perfect, and you will get a lot of job interviews. It goes fast, so why not get
Yeah.
prepared as fast as possible?
So, Nisha, the time is flying, but I want to also bring us to the end of the interview. Tell us one last tip for this, like this YouTube interview. Like, what would you suggest to all the job hunters here in Denmark?
Yes. So I would say that job hunting should not be a full-time job. That's something I see and I very much disagree about, because people who have a job, They get exercise going to and from work. They get networking, coffee breaks, cake breaks. In Denmark, a lot of cake breaks, and they get all that extra stimulation and fun into their workday. So you would actively need to search that and add it to be a happy job hunter while you're looking for job. So I have, for example, this method where I help people apply for jobs 1.5 hour a day for Monday to Friday, and that will help them apply for 10 jobs every week. So
Wow.
it's a lot, and it's the way I want to people to work, actually work a bit smart and organized, and then bring in all the networking, bring in all the fun, so you don't drain your energy, because job hunting is hard and it takes a lot to keep going. So you need to add those things into your life to have fun, and also keep your values in mind. What do you really want to work with? Because we want you to be long term happy, not just
Yeah.
have any job and then be unhappy shortly after. So that's my last tip. Remember to have fun. Add in the fun to your day. Don't make it too much. Apply for a job 2 hours a day maximum, and have the time off. Do the
Yeah.
exercise and the networking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Nisha, how can people connect with you and know more about your work? And if you can give us, like in brief, what do you help people with when it comes to job search?
Yes, you can always go to my website, www.careercatwalk.dk, and here you can book me on Tuesdays, where I have these 15 minutes pre-career session where I help with what the main issues of your job hunting is right now, and I give a few quick fixes on how to help it, and then I send you a plan of how we could work together if you choose to go forward on it. But you can also always add me on the LinkedIn, of course. If you want to join my network of international women in Denmark, you could go to careerclub.dk to sign in there. But I'm always up for meeting new people and online networking. The way I work, you ask, um,
Yes.
I would normally use those disc personality tests because I want people to be prepared, and it's also a way for me to get to know the talents. So I send the test before we take a session, and then normally then we take a 20 minutes to go through and prepare you for what to answer when you get it in the current job. But it's also a way for me to get to know my candidates and their skills better, and it gives us some good golden words for the CV and the cover letter. And then I will Danish up people's CV. That's what I do. I take it from start to the end, and I go all the way through. And if you ask people about CV feedback, if you ask 5 people, you get 5 different answers. So
Yeah.
the way I work is that I explain why I would do it, and I give you some info behind it or some insights or factor, and then you choose, is it me or not, and then you can do the changes if you want to. But that's how we work from the start to the end. And I actually do the same with LinkedIn, making sure that it's set up to be found by the right headhunters and hiring managers, but also so it sells you to the dream job that you chose you want.
Okay.
And then I also work on job hunting. So if people have a job that they really want to apply for, they can bring it to me, and together we analyze the job ad, and we map all my network and their network around the company and people we may know who knows about this person or this position or this company. And then we create a perfectly tailored cover letter that people can use again and again for the next job. And I can also help with the preparation of interviews. That's actually really fun when we do the role playing. So that's a little bit about how I work. There's a very much difference on what people need and what they can use. So I think it's important to tailor make it to their specific situation.
Yeah, but when it comes to job hunting, you are, I think, doing from A to Z everything, and it depends on people what they want to get help from you, like either only for CV or LinkedIn or the personality test. But you are currently like helping with all the things that when it comes to job hunting.
Yes, and I love it.
Okay. Yes, yes, I have felt it when I met you, Nisha, that you're so welcoming, and that's why like we just met once and we are having this interview. So thank you so much for your time. I know this interview is filled with like nuggets of information when it comes to job hunting. So thank you so much for your time today, Nisha.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening to all of you who listened to this interview. And I look so much forward to hear all the stories and all the tips that maybe comes out after this interview about how people use that tips.
And all the information about how you can connect with Nisha, her websites, her LinkedIn profile, everything you will find on the description. So go check that out. Ask questions on the YouTube comment. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I will see you next Friday. Till then, take care and bye bye.